Welcome back, everyone, to the Bronx Talk Show. Today is May 5th, 2024, episode 16, and the Yankees just swept the Tigers. We don't do weekly recaps here, we don't do series recaps, we do weekly, so we also do have to talk a little bit about the Orioles, but we'll get into that later. Ryan, we were both at the game. How was it?
It was definitely fun. It was certainly a wet one for sure. The rain was coming down, and I thought at some point they were going to call it. Like right when we got to like the fifth inning, top of the fifth inning, Yankees were up 2-0. I didn't think they were going to call it just then because I didn't want it. I don't think they wanted it to be like so obvious to get into an official game. But I thought by the sixth or seventh they were surely going to call it. Christian, I don't know if I've ever seen anything like it. They were playing in pretty hard rain, not like just drizzle, like a little bit more than a drizzle, I'd say, for over 2 hours. It was pouring out. And then the Yankees, give the lead. Tigers tie the game. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm soaking wet. I'm freezing. I wore a jersey and shorts. And yeah, I was like, here we go. But no, Yankees got out of the inning, right? And then Volpe with that, not Volpe, Juan Soto with that big bases clearing 3-run double. Juan Soto, just brilliant. My reactions up on Instagram if you guys want to see it. But it was electric. It was a really, really fun game, and I had a great time. What about you?
Yeah, we moved to get undercover pretty quick. And then from there, it was honestly great. Uh there was a guy that was kept holding up his baby and everyone was going crazy. Um I don't know, it's always a fun crowd when in games like that because no casual fan wants to sit through a rainy Yankee game. It's the people who want to see wins. And yeah, I kind of was going into today like we're going to be feeling great if we win, and then we're going to probably be feeling pretty bad if we lose because, yeah, they won the series, but they also had a pretty bad series against the Orioles earlier. So, we'll talk about that in a bit. Garrett Cole did throw off a mound this week. He said it was exciting. He felt good. His pitches averaged 89 miles an hour. I think he threw 15 pitches. So still no exact timetable for Cole, but step in the right direction here.
Yeah, certainly for Garrett Cole. I mean, the Yankees are itching to get their ace back. And, everything we've heard and everything we've seen so far with Garrett Cole has been great. There's been no hiccups or anything like that. And Meredith asked him, I think the other day, how difficult is this rehab for you? How hard it is, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, to be honest, it's really not difficult at all. I'm locked in right now. So, classic response there from Garrett Cole. He's ready to go. He won the Cy Young last year. He wants to go out there and, pitch his heart out for the New York Yankees. And obviously the injury has sidelined him a bit here. But, he's ready to go. And I think he's getting really close to start, ramping it up. And then you could start seeing it into fruition. And no, I definitely think he's close. And it's a great sign that everything is going so smoothly and everything's going all according to plan.
Yeah, 100%. Then Nick Birdie, did he make his rehab appearance today?
I believe so, yes, with Somerset.
All right, let me see how he did, because that is also going to be, we talked about this last episode. Yankees bullpen numbers are kind of good, but there is underlying concerns. And I think I've found the stat that we were looking for last time, because the ERA is one of the best in baseball in terms of the bullpen, but the Yankees have let up the most inherited runs from the bullpen, or I think second maybe in baseball. So that's kind of been the struggle, and that makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, Nick Birdie commences rehab today. He should be back soon, and yeah, let's get into the week, Ryan. Starting with the Orioles.
Yeah, it was not a fun one. It was not a fun series. The Yankees lost 3 out of 4. And Christian only scored 6 runs in the entire 4-game series, which is pretty surprising. But yet again, we've seen this before. The Yankees also not surprising. Yankees last week scored 15 runs on Saturday and Sunday. They come into Baltimore, they score 6 runs the whole series. It was just bad. It was really, really bad. They couldn't get anything going offensively against the Orioles. The game that they did win, however, was a nice thing to see. Oswaldo with the 2-run homer, and Luis Gil pitched a phenomenal game, went 6 1/3 shutout innings. The Yankees were able to win that game 2-0. It was their 20th win. But in Game 4 of the series too, just Rodon sort of got hit hard, and the Yankees offense was just not there. So yeah, it was just not that great down there in Baltimore. But then the Yankees head north, and they face Detroit, Christian. And on Friday night, they go scoreless for 8 innings, and I'm like, dude, I don't have time for this. I can't, But then Yankees in the 9th inning, Aaron Judge singles, Verdugo bunt single, Stanton double, and Rizzo walk-off single. Just like that, 4 hits in a row for the Yankees. Couldn't score all night. They had been trouble scoring the whole time in Baltimore. And just like that, 4 hits in a row. The Yankees win the game. My reaction was up there for it as well. And Christian, it literally happened in the blink of an eye. You were like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
we won. So that was nice to see. And then I think that got the boys going for the rest of the series. Rizzo hit a 3-run homer on Saturday. Yankees win that game 5-3. And then there was the Judge ejection. We'll touch on that. And then today, Sunday, great outing from Nestor. He looked really, really good. Juan Soto with the big 3-run double, and then Judge solo home run, which was nice to see in the bottom of the first. Funny thing about that, he hit it right near me, like 6 feet away. And on the video, you could see me running, like I had a blanket around my neck. You'd see me running for the ball, and we were in the bleachers, so the concourse area, it hit right on the side of the wall, that concourse area, to the one, the lower sections there. But if it had been literally 2 feet more, it would have bounced right in the section, and it would have bounced up. Maybe I could have gotten a Judge home run ball. I didn't. But yeah, Yankees sweep the Tigers, and it was amazing. It was awesome to see.
Yeah, I think kind of one of those important sweeps where we kind of needed it. And,
Yes.
when you're a really good team, there are going to be series that you should sweep. And this was one of them. I mean, Tigers were a bad team. And you really notice it when you're at the game and you look going through each guy, all the averages are on the screen and the stats. I mean, their lineup is bad, right? They have really just a few guys that are going. So taking care of business, it's good. Nestor looked awesome. Another great sign for him. But the Judge ejection, Ryan, was weird. I didn't like it at all. I think I feel like the collective opinion is that he should not have been ejected. But I don't know. First time he's ejected in his career. Judge said that he said a lot worse before and has never warranted an ejection, so he was a little bit surprised. It just doesn't fit him at all.
Yeah.
I'm sure Judge was not happy about it either.
Yeah, I mean, Judge, especially big reputation guy, the way he talks to the media, the way he treats the fans, he's wearing that Yankees captain, honor. And, us as fans, I mean, we don't really care if Aaron Judge gets ejected. I mean, especially in this instance, it wasn't his fault. Now, if it was big game, big spot, that's totally different. But in this instance, no fans were mad. Everyone can completely understand. But, I think the frustrating thing for Judge is he doesn't want that. You know what I mean? I think it was the first Yankee captain to be ejected, I think, since Don Mattingly in 1984, something like that. Yeah, he doesn't want that. Derek Jeter, Yankees' previous captain, we all know Derek Jeter, love Derek Jeter. He never got ejected, okay? But, so I think Aaron Judge, that definitely might affect him a little bit personally. He doesn't want that, but it's not going to be anything I think would get in his head or get him upset. I think he's just, frustrated on the matter. But yeah, I mean, there's really not much we can say. I mean, we were talking last week with Aaron Boone got ejected for something he didn't even say.
Yeah.
So like something a fan said. So I don't know. I mean, everyone's been talking about it around baseball. The umps this year have just been atrocious. It's not just how sensitive they've been and how quick leash they've been throwing guys out. It's also the calls they're making on the field. They just haven't been good. So maybe the guy's having a bad day, but to reject Aaron Judge is pretty low. I mean, we all know the type of person Aaron Judge is. He really didn't do anything that bad. Maybe he just wanted to be the guy who said I ejected Aaron Judge for the first time, which will probably be the only time in Aaron Judge's career that he does get ejected. But I mean, ridiculous, really, really ridiculous. And you got to be better than that. You got to be better than that because it's part of the game, right? You're gonna talk to umpires, you're gonna heckle them, right? But just because you say something, that doesn't mean it's an auto ejection. Okay, like there has to be some bantering there because I think it's also how the ump's able to adjust in game when he gets feedback from other teams.
Yeah. It's one of those things that robot umps come in, they all go away. I mean, I think at that point, only arguments are really on check swings. I mean, you can
Yeah,
challenge calls, so it sucks. 5 minutes in the past, I really won't get any more attention. And also, April's in the past for Aaron Judge. 1.046 OPS in May, 5 games so far. So maybe just a slow start in April. He has looked a lot better though. Really dating back to like the Oakland series,
yeah,
a few series ago at home. So all good on Judge. Nestor looked great. Did we talk about Luis Heel yet? I mean, he had a phenomenal start against the Orioles, one of the few bright spots in that series. Um, I guess we don't have to dive too deep into it because I think we talked about it last time. But I mean, this is going to be so hard to take him out of the rotation.
yeah.
I really, and it's good problems to have, but I really do wonder what they do because everyone is just pitching phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what you're gonna do. I mean, I'm telling you right now, I think Luis Heel has the lowest ERA in the Yankees rotation out of all the guys. You're not taking him out of the rotation. I mean, like, I don't think he can take him out of the rotation. I just don't think he can. Unfortunately, I think that's what the Yankees will end up doing. But I'll tell you this, Christian, there is no way, shape, or form that this guy should be sent to AAA. There's no way. I mean, he has pitched so incredibly well, and he's gone up against some really good teams. Arizona's lineup, right? He throws six and a third shutout innings against the Baltimore Orioles, have one of the best young, talented lineups in the league. If that doesn't show you that this guy's stuff is no joke, then I don't know what else will. He is that good. He is good. He is as good as advertised. Me and Christian made a video on him. I would buy high in Luis Heel stock. And, I think Jack Curry was talking about it the other day too. He said, when Gary Cole comes back, what are you going to do? I don't know. I don't know. It's going to be a really tough decision for the New York Yankees to make. But I think everyone can agree that this guy belongs at the big league level because he's helping the Yankees to an extraordinary amount right now. He's helping them a ton, and he deserves to be on the team.
Yeah, and I mean, also there's something to be said. I mean, getting out the Baltimore Orioles lineup, that's something the Yankees are probably going to have to do in the postseason this year. Carlos Rodon was not able to do it. I didn't think he had his best stuff, but I mean, he still got roughed up pretty good. So hey, I mean, I really think if he keeps pitching well, he's just going to find innings, whether it's in the rotation or the bullpen. So super good sign from Heel there. Clark Schmidt, another Schmidt outing against Detroit. Not too many complaints. 5 innings, 3 earned runs, and then against Baltimore, pretty solid. 5 2/3, just 1 earned run. Another guy, kind of, I'd almost put him in a similar boat to Luis Heel, where he has bullpen experience, and when one of the guys has to get to the boot, I think Clark Schmidt's in the conversation, but it's kind of the same thing. if he's able to get outs against these really good teams, I mean, he's gonna find his innings. So I don't know. Clark Schmidt's probably the one guy I'm least comfortable in a starting role, just because the innings. But yeah, I mean there's really no complaints with the rotation. It's looked great. I mean it's kept the Yankees. There's a reason they've won so many one run games this year.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, the Yankees rotation as a whole, as a collective unit, looks really, really good. And you look at the rotation 1 through 5. Not anyone in the rotation has an ERA above 3.75. I think Nestor's is the highest at 3.72. They've been able to keep the Yankees in games. The Yankees are 9-3 in one-run games this year. I think it was the other day, 9-3 in one-run games. A big part of that is because of their starting rotation. It's been really, really beneficial for the Yankees. It's been a strong spot for sure. And that's going to be really, really important because coming October, Christian, I like what we got, right? I like what we got. And I think the Yankees are very versatile. When you look at the 3 and 4 starter, in the postseason, because you'd assume, Garrett Cole's going to get built up, obviously, and he's going to be the number one starter in the playoffs. And then, who do you go at 2? Do you go with a guy like Nestor? Do you go with Stroman? Do you go with Rodon, who's pitched really, really well for the Yankees? Besides his last outing against Baltimore, he was pitching like an ace by far. We talked about him all last week. He was pitching so, so good. He still is pitching like an ace, although he did get roughed up. But you got options. You're very versatile. And I like that about the Yankees because, one or two of those guys could go into the bullpen and get you some innings. A guy like Luis Field, Christian, you talked about, the Yankees potentially needing to get, the Baltimore Orioles out in the playoffs. How about having a guy like Luis Field come out of the pen in the 6th inning and throw like 100 right at your face and you can't hit? Like,
Yeah.
the Yankees are very versatile in their rotation. I think Garrett Cole's a lock, but you look 2 through 4 in a playoff series, they're very interchangeable, but they've kept them in games. It's been great to see. And I definitely do think they have one of the best rotations in baseball. When you look at their staff as a whole, including the bullpen, I think they have the 3rd lowest ERA in the big leagues.
Yeah. I do have one ask. It's with Marcus Stroman. Next start, just no more walks. I
Yeah.
mean, the past 2 starts, 5 walks against Detroit and Milwaukee, and that's just not his game. I mean, he's a
Yeah.
pitch to contact, weak fly balls and balls on the ground. So no more walks from Stroman. But as you said, collectively as a whole, it looks good. And another big reason why we are dominating those one-run games is the man, Clay Holmes. I mean, I think that after the first series of the year, we had a brief discussion about how we felt about him. And, we really had no reason to not feel comfortable in this guy, other than the fact that we're Yankee fans and, any close game is going to give you a heart attack. But I think we were both curious what we were going to get from this guy because we've seen him go through stretches like a lot of the Yankees team where he's best player in the world for a few months and then he's just like unwatchable. And I think we were both curious, what are we going to get this year? And so far, couldn't be better. No runs. Probably one of the best relievers in baseball right now.
Yeah, I would say the best reliever in baseball. And for those of you that don't know, Christian is a huge Clay Holmes guy. He's not just like a bandwagon came on the scene.
Yes.
Would you get his jersey before the 2022 season, something like that?
They traded for him in 2021, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So then Holmes, did they trade for him at the deadline or before?
In 2021, they traded for him not like right at the deadline, but like I think like a week before. Yeah.
Yeah. So then I got his jersey for Christmas after half a season with the Yankees. I really liked him.
Yeah, I remember I gave Christian some shit when Clay Holmes blow a save, but that's Christian's guy. Clay Holmes is Christian's guy. He supported him through thick and thin, and look at him now at the apex of maybe his career. I don't know. He has made the All-Star team, but he's pitching lights out right now. 16 and a third innings, hasn't allowed one run, struck out 18 batters, 11 saves. And Christian, this is the big thing that's eye-opening to me. One walk. One walk. And we've seen Clay Holmes before just be like totally erratic. Like he can't get the ball over the plate. We've seen him hit batters, but the one walk is very, very nice to see from Clay Holmes, because that means he's dialed in right now. Absolutely dialed in. And when you look at his baseball savant, Christian, look at this. Look at this. In the 99 percentile in ground ball rate. 99 percentile. I mean, look, Clay Holmes is just dealing right now. And it's amazing to see as a Yankees fan, him going out there, and he's feeling like Mo, and I love to see that. And speaking of Mariano Rivera, in his entire career, Mariano Rivera has never had a 16-game stretch like this. Has never had one. We also saw Clay Holmes a couple years ago break Mariano Rivera's scoreless inning record, or inning streak, something like that. So Clay Holmes has that, type of potential. Obviously the consistency has been excellent this season. Is he going to have a 0.0 ERA for the rest of the season? 99% chance he doesn't. Maybe in a fantasy land he does, right? And that would be amazing. But he probably doesn't. But look, if the A's could just get him to a point where, his struggles are, less, where he's not struggling for multiple weeks, that would be good. The Yankees just got to get the consistency a little bit better. But Christian, he's been amazing. I think he's been the best reliever in baseball. There's a case to be made that he's been the best pitcher in baseball. And if he keeps this up at a historic pace, I mean, people could start to talk. And, the Cy Young, it's not just a starter reward. Yes, if you're a reliever, you can win the Cy Young too. Now, look, I get we're just, a few days into May and we finished April. So we'll have to see how it all plays out. But Clay Holmes is pitching to a pristine level. I want to say pristine is above elite because he's just been perfect. That's the bottom line.
Yeah, no, pristine. And he is pitching a little bit different from last year because, I mean, last year, 100th percentile in ground ball percentage. That's always his thing. I mean, he throws the sinker, people are going to hit it on the ground. The problem is he wasn't always, just because it's on the ground, it doesn't mean it's an out, right? If hitters are consistently barreling balls on the ground, there's a good chance they're going to get through holes a lot of times. And I think that's kind of what we saw, Clay Holmes last year. If he went through a stretch where his command's not great and, one or two guys are getting on base via a walk or hit by pitch, and then really all it takes is a ground ball to find a hole, that's not a very good formula. This year, it's a little bit different. His first off, his chase rate in the 36th percentile, which isn't great, but you look at that compared to last year, where it's the 8th percentile, he's getting a lot more swings and misses. And then also last year, probably the biggest thing, his hard hit percentage in the 22nd and the 22nd percentile, really not great. This year, above league average, 63rd percentile. So he's still getting the ground balls, but he's generating weaker contact and also getting a little bit more swings and misses. So, I mean, you put that together, and he was already a quality closer last year. It's not really a surprise that he's doing what he's doing this year. So I have seen people say that, I mean, they think, Clay Holmes has gotten lucky to begin the season. They don't think it's sustainable. I disagree. I think if you can consistently generate weak contact on the ground, you're going to be able to do, this or close to this throughout a full season, right? I mean, I think it's a good recipe. There's a reason that the Yankees teach sinkers. It works.
Yeah, and if you're limiting runners on base, Christian, and you're not walking guys, and you're getting the ball over the plate, and you're throwing strikes, and you're putting the ball on the ground, the home run basically comes out of play. The big inning totally comes out of play. You're not looking at a 3-run homer or 2-run homer, guy gets a walk, and then boom, 2-run shot, because he's not walking guys and he's keeping the ball on the ground. That's what you want as your closer, Christian. When you're on the road and they got the go ahead run at the plate, you want someone that keeps the ball on the ground, because the last thing you want is a walk-off 3-run homer. And I feel like that's a big confidence thing, as a team, as a whole. He's putting the ball on the ground. You don't have to worry about the home run. And, it sort of reminds me of 2022. I think in 2022, he didn't give up his first homer till, I want to say, like the end of July. It was against Salvador Perez or something like that. But he's keeping the ball on the ground. And I think the one thing with him is, if he doesn't walk guys and this control keeps up, man, oh man, will he be something else this season. And he will be an absolute joy to watch. And just sort of how he is right now. It's been amazing. And it's been pristine for Clay Holmes. It's been excellent to see. So, obviously really hoping he could keep it up. It's been amazing to see. It's been really fun to watch.
Yeah. I mean, teams aren't going to string together. It's very unlikely you're going to get three, jam shot singles through the hole, right? I mean, it's his recipe is working, and it's going to continue to work. Probably going to get an all-star nod this year as long as he can keep it up. So props to Clay Holmes. He is carrying the bullpen a lot right now.
Round of applause for Clay Holmes.
My guy.
Christian's guy. That is your guy. Juan Soto, AL MVP frontrunner. He's Juan Soto. I mean, what more do we have to say? This guy has come to the Bronx. He's exceeded all expectations. He's been amazing to the fans. He's been electric to watch. You feel like you're on the team. You feel like you're in the dugout. You feel like you're wearing those Yankee pinstripes yourself when you're watching Juan Soto play baseball. That's the kind of effect he puts on you. He's like a drug. It is a drug watching Juan Soto play baseball, because it's so enjoyable. It's so enjoyable, and it's a very addicting drug in that, because I just want to keep watching this guy. He's batting .316, Christian. He has 8 home runs, 28 RBIs, and a .980 OPS. His baseball savant, Christian, I looked at this today because we were preparing for the video, so I was looking at baseball savant. I looked at this dude's baseball savant. I had to refresh the page, Christian. I didn't think this was real. Almost every single thing from an offensive category, he's at least in the 90th percentile. There is 2 things on his baseball savant that he's not at least in the 90s in, and that is sweet spot and whiff percentage. That's 2 things. Everything else is, look, xWOBA, 99, expected battering average, 94, expected slugging, 98, average exit velocity, 100, barrel percentage, 95, hard hit percentage, 100, chase rate, 97, K percentage, 93. And, he's getting the walks, 97 percentile. Obviously expected that for Juan Soto. Unbelievable. I think, obviously, it's been a month. Look, we're putting it, Juan Soto, AL MVP frontrunner. Look, baseball's played throughout several months, not 1 month, but he's playing to an elite level. And Christian, I don't know where the Yankees would be without him. We've seen the Yankees lineup struggle at times, and we've seen Juan Soto be able to lift the Yankees up. Christian, I don't know where the Yankees would be without Juan Soto. He has been so impactful. He's been by far, I think, the most valuable player on the Yankees this year. And, he's in a contract year. Could we see Juan Soto win American League MVP? I think it's very likely. If I was a betting man, I would place that bet, because I think Juan Soto has a really, really good chance to win AL MVP. And that would be really, really cool first year with the Yankees, and wins AL MVP. So, look, Juan Soto's been amazing. He's been an absolute joy to watch. That's all I have on Juan Soto. I mean, I could talk about Juan Soto all day. He's just that perfect, Christian. But
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna break down this guy's stats. I mean, there's nothing to break down. No mechanical adjustment, or something that's changed. This is the player he is. He is one of the best hitters in baseball. We traded for him, and now he is still one of the best hitters in baseball. I'd say the best. He's elite. I guess the one thing you could say, he's striking out a little bit less this year. But I mean, as a whole, the guy hits the ball hard. He can do it everywhere. It's just the player you want up in a big spot. Like, I don't know if you're doing this in your head, but like when the rallies started to form, John Birdie gets walked. Then the nice single by Trevino, that was also pretty sick. That little hit and
yeah,
run. But then you start looking at the lineup and you start like counting out, all right, this guy gets on, say this guy gets out, all right. Then Soto comes up with bases loaded. I mean, my brain is almost wired to like, when is Soto getting up? Who's going to be on base? Because that's most likely when stuff's going to happen. And then, it's also nice. If not, then we have our big guy Judge behind him. But look, he is awesome. When he came to the plate today, kind of no doubt, it was like,
yeah,
we have the lead here. It's just going to be a matter of by how much. And he clears the bases. His energy is sick. I don't know. I mean, I know we do this every week, but I feel like we have to. This is one of the greatest things to happen to the Yankees in a while. I'm already starting to see the contract stuff and all that. I want to put it out of my mind because I know no matter what, nothing's going to happen before the season. So, or during the season, I guess. I think we really just got to enjoy this year and then worry about the offseason when it comes. This guy's phenomenal.
yeah.
He's the
No,
GOAT.
he is the GOAT. No doubt about it. Christian, he's only 25 years old. Speaking of the contract stuff, I've heard people talk about it. I haven't even dipped my toe in in those waters yet. Look, we just finished April. It's May 5th time we're recording this. The Yankees obviously have plans to go deep into October. We got May, June, July, August, September. So many months, so many more baseball games to be played, so many ebbs and flows, and you got the trade deadline, and obviously the goal to be playing baseball in October. So you have so much stuff in front of you. I don't think you can really look at the contract. The only time I would check in and talk about it if I was in the front office or start to kick the tires and maybe try to get something done would be if it's the All-Star break and you look at Juan Soto and you're like, this dude's gonna win AL MVP. He's the best player in baseball, and he's representing the Yankees in the All-Star game. The fans obviously love him. They'd be able to make a profit off this guy for years. Wearing that Yankee uniform number 22. Could even give him his own spot in the outfield or something like they did for Judge. So that would be a time where I might say, hey, what I might talk to, Soto's can't be like, hey, what's your number? What are you thinking? But, to be honest, I think Soto's going to test free agency either way. But I feel like at that point, it might be your due diligence as an organization to try to see if you can get something done. But as of now, I'm not thinking about it. I could tell you 100% that Juan Soto's not thinking about it. He's just trying to help the Yankees win games. We did this with Judge, right? We did this with Judge for a whole year. He ended up hitting 62 home runs. The Yankees went to the playoffs. So, hey, so much more baseball to be played. Let's just enjoy what we're seeing right now from Juan Soto and Christian. Like you said, I do agree with you. I think he's the best thing to happen to the Yankees in quite some time. Bringing a superstar player, a generational player of his caliber to the biggest and greatest city in the world in New York, with the brightest lights. That's where he belongs. You know what I mean? Like, that's where it fits. I mean, everyone on Twitter wants to talk about aura and, all this. I mean, like, he fits in a Yankees uniform. Like, he looks good in a Yankees uniform. he has like a swagger about him, wearing those pinstripes, and he's seen it before. He's seen it with a lot of the greats, and it's just been an absolute joy. It's been a pleasure to watch Juan Soto play baseball for the New York Yankees this season.
Yes. Ryan, I think we might have our last shot at revenge with the Astros coming up next series because they're not looking like a playoff team. I think this might be our last shot this year, especially if this is the team to really get back at them.
Mm.
Opening series, Yankees swept them, was awesome. It's going to be a fun series. Astros are just playing terrible, terrible baseball. They just lost a series to the Mariners. They pretty much suck this year. I wonder if they still somehow find their way into the playoffs, but it's not looking like it. But hey, they come to the Bronx, and it should be an electric series. I mean, the game should be close to sold out, if not, despite being on weekdays, because it's the Astros.
Yeah.
This has been like our needle in our side for 5 or 6 years, and I'll just say this: it would be so sick if we could just sweep them and go 7-0 against them this year, bury them in May.
Is it 8 or is it a 3-game series? The Yankees have off tomorrow.
Yeah, they have off Monday.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, that's what I thought. So I was like, it's not an 8. It's not. They wouldn't play 8 times. Yeah. So yeah, no, it should be exciting stuff. Yankees versus Astros. I mean, it always is. Crowd's always a little more into it. It's always a bit more electric. We saw what happened in 2022 at the stadium. Right, Aaron Hicks with that huge homer. I mean, it felt like a playoff game. Yankees got no hit in one of the games, and then Judge with a walk-off home run. I mean, it really felt like in 2022 of that series. I mean, they were just going pound for pound, blow for blow. Last year, me and Christian, remember you and me were at one of those games. Yeah, it wasn't as fun. I mean, the Yankees were pretty much out of it. We went to a Luis Severino start. He got lit up. We gave up a home run to like the worst player in baseball. It was like the Astros backup catcher, Maldonado, maybe something like that. We had a Fire Cashman sign. We had a Nick Ramirez for MVP sign. Nick Ramirez actually pitching for the Dodgers now. But yeah, the crowd's always a little bit more into it. It's always a buzz, right? You're playing the Astros. And Christian, I got to tell you, Tuesday, not Juan Soto, Jose Altuve is going to, dig his foot in that right-handed batter box, and you're just going to hear the bleacher creatures go, fuck Altuve. Now, whether you think that's a good thing to do or, you're just poking the bear, that's a whole debate. I mean, to be honest, you probably are. If any players getting chanted, to basically go fuck himself when he's hitting, he's probably going to be more inclined and more focused to hit a home run and do the most damage he can to you. So maybe we stop doing that. Say it in your head, of course. But look, it's going to be fun. I'm going to the game on Thursday. So that should be fun. Bizarre start time Thursday, 5:05 p.m. 5:05 p.m. I don't get it.
Yeah, weird start times.
A lot of them this year.
And there was also just like a million day games this week too.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Yeah,
I like the standard 7:10s or 7:05s.
What are you like what about a Saturday? Do you like the Saturday day game, or do you want the Saturday night game?
I just say pick one, either 1 or 7. No 4s. The 4s are just the worst.
Yeah.
You start the game with the shadows. I don't like it. And it's just in between everything.
Yeah.
No, I like a 1 or a 7.
Yeah. I'm for the most part agree with you. I think the Yanks could play, especially in the summer. Like during the school year, yeah. But like during the summer, maybe a little bit more Saturday night games in the Bronx. I mean, those are fun. Then Sunday's obviously going to be day games, except for the Sunday night baseball, which the Yankees haven't appeared on yet this year, which is...
Yeah, when is their first Sunday night baseball game?
I don't even know, Christian. I mean, how did the Yankees not get a Sunday night baseball game first month in the season? We're trying to grow the game here. That's not the way to do it.
Yankees Sunday Night Baseball.
They got to play on there like 4 times. It's going to be Yankees Mets on one of them, or I don't know if they play Sunday, but they'll have an ESPN game. Yankees Red Sox will get on there.
No way, not till June 16th.
Wow,
That can't be right. Yeah, it is. That's
what is it? Boston? It's against Boston, right? Yeah.
And that probably won't even be a good game. I mean, Boston's already digging themselves their grave.
Yeah, that's lame. That's lame. You got Yankees Orioles too. I mean, how is there not a Yankees Orioles Sunday night baseball game? I don't get it. It's literally the Yankees. Who else do you want to watch? To be honest, I bet you the Dodgers.
Oh, scratch that. No. June 9th. Yankees
June
have
9th.
back-to-back Sunday nights because it's LA at New York. That's going to be super fun.
Ooh, that's a Sunday night game.
I think we could even try and go to that.
Yeah, I'm down. You want to go to that?
I would. That's gonna probably be one of the cooler regular season series you're gonna watch. These are gonna be the two powerhouses, the Dodgers and the Yankees.
Yeah. Will we get Cole back then? Probably. No.
That feels too early.
Yeah, I think it does feel a little too early.
That's like a month away.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be cool if we did see Cole pitch, but Ohtani in the Bronx. I mean, Yankees Dodgers. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. I saw the schedule this year, and that was definitely a game or a series I marked my calendar for because I'm definitely going to one of those games. Tickets are gonna be pricey, but these two teams. I mean, they're like the powerhouses of baseball. I mean, one runs the National League, one runs the American League, and they've played in the World Series a bunch. Yankees beat them 77, 78. Dodgers get the upper hand in 81. Right, but these two teams go way back. It's always fun when they play each other. And, they say it every single time, Christian, every single time when the Yankees and the Dodgers match up with one another. They say, this could be a World Series preview. This could be a World Series preview. It hasn't happened since 1981, but you always got to mention that because these two teams always are in it. Yankees have been in it forever. Dodgers have been in it forever. Both teams really trying to look to climb the hump, I'd say, over the last, 15 or so years since the Yankees won in 09. I mean, I guess if you want to count the Dodgers World Series that they won in 2020, I mean, you can. I'm not going to argue with you. I mean, they did win the World Series, but, you look in recent memory, Dodgers have failed tremendously in the postseason. The Yankees have failed too since 2009. Haven't been able to really do anything either. So, it's not what both teams want. They want to be in the World Series, and they both want to be the last ones standing. But it's definitely a really fun matchup. I'm excited about that. And then you got Yankees Red Sox the following week. So that should be fun. Yankees don't play Boston until June, right? That's their first time they meet, I think.
I think so. Yeah, unless they play in Fenway somewhere. Or in the next month. No, I think that's the first time. So, yeah. Verdugo gets to play his old team. Good stuff. Good stuff.
In Fenway. I wonder how that. I don't think it would be much. I don't think it would really be like a.
Yeah, I mean,
he's not like. I don't think he's gonna get like a standing ovation, but I don't think they're gonna boo him. Like,
no, booing him.
Yeah.
I mean, he got traded.
Yeah. Also, congratulations to the Verdugo family.
Yes.
Just had a baby. I don't want to. It's baby girl. I want to say her name. He said on the broadcast was Aliciana or Aliana. I could be totally wrong. It was something like that, and I apologize if that's not her name. I truly do. But congratulations to the Verdugo family. Alex Verdugo's looked very solid this year for the Yankees, so definitely happy for them on that front. But Christian, I think we basically talked about it all. Yanks went 4-3 in the week, struggled, but did get the sweep against the Tigers, which was really amazing to see, and I had a lot of fun today at the game. So, back at it next week, taking on the Astros, and gonna be fun.
Yeah. Thank you for listening. Go Yanks. Let's have a big
Go
week
Yanks.
here. Two
Also, look
big
at my shirt.
teams.
Look at my shirt.
Anti-Red Sox social club.
Facts.
Nice.
That's what I'm saying. All right. Peace, everyone. Have a good night.
Peace.